I've been going through a lot out of many things that's falling apart in my life. My thesis that's falling apart. I was about to get kicked out of the house, but that's taken care of. I My study permit was expiring, so I applied for that, and the entire Canada went on strike. All the workers in Canada went on strike. So I was really uncertain about, will I get my study permit? Will I not? I got it. God bless. And I developed feelings for one of my friends. I personally like her boyfriend. Did I tell you she has a boyfriend? I personally like him. He's a nice guy. I like her as well. We were great friends, but there was an event where there was like a guy in the club, and like not in like an university club. He was trying to like being a little bit aggressive, and none of her boyfriend didn't step up. Her childhood friend who knew karate and all jujitsu, aikido, he touches me, I turn into dust. He didn't step up. I stepped up. I'm afraid of these situations. I'm not comfortable with violence and stuff, but I stepped up because she's my friend, she's important, and I would have stepped up regardless of who it would have been. But I think that incident made me have a lot of feelings, a lot of mixed feelings, like anger toward her boyfriend, being resentful to her boyfriend, like why didn't you step up? Then kind of like a, a crush type of feeling, where I didn't actually like her. I just needed her attention. Where it's like, oh my God, did she figure out that I actually am caring for her? And then will she just leave me because she finds that maybe uncomfortable? Or you have like this millions of thoughts. I actually did write them all down. And this crush slowly developed, and it took me from like I didn't even see it coming. And I fell for her. But to be honest, it was almost like an addiction. I just wanted her to like respond to me, give me attention, but when she did give me attention, I didn't feel much. It's just that I was missing her absence, but I was not really feeling much in her presence. I know this is really messed up, but this was giving me intense anxiety to the point where recently it was my birthday, and I was so anxious that will she wish me for my birthday, will she not? And she did, God bless. But 2 hours after 12 a.m., which is stupid, but that 2 hours I had like a lot of anxiety. And then she invited me for a birthday party. I thought, oh, they're throwing me a party. That's so nice. However, they I was going to my friend's party, and they just brought me along. So that was disappointing. But I did have a lot of anxiety and the heartbreak. Like my body physically felt sick. I I couldn't eat literally anything. If I eat anything spicy, I'm Indian, so we have like a lot of like spice rich food. I'm eating that and I'm getting indigestion, I'm getting acidity, like my stomach isn't able to digest that meal. I was eating curd rice and I was feeling so nauseous all the time. Even drinking water was a gamble. I did even text her that, yo, I'm feeling really nauseous, blah blah blah. I'm going to like this place to like get medications. And I'm expecting her to say, oh, you'll be fine, like kind of like take care of me, right? She just ghosts me. That's where my anxiety kind of like peaked, where I was like, oh my God, I'm worthless. And whatever thoughts I had was bad, but the reaction my body had to that thoughts was so much that I couldn't even be conscious of my thoughts just because of the amount of physical pain I was going through. And I took There was morning I took like acidity medication, then I had fever as well, then I took Tylenol, and then I took another medication for diarrhea. And I just slept. My body for 18 hours just gone. And during this time, I'm desperately trying to like find a solution, trying to like make a video that actually you guys would find helpful. Like, what is that one message that actually helps me during moments like this? And I do have a message for you. And but before we go into that, I just wanted to talk about this very important distinction that I don't think many people talk about, which is the distinction between, I'm so passionate about sharing this, the distinction between managing your anxiety and soothing your anxiety. So during this entire journey, I, even my YouTube channel in the past, was almost designed, if you watch the David Hawkins video, it's almost designed to manage your anxiety. How do you manage your anxiety? Yeah. But it's not designed to soothe it. And the problem is when you're trying to manage your anxiety, there's an expectation, there's an intention. There's an intention of, if you do a technique or if you do a breathing technique, box breathing, 478 breathing, whatever it is, that by the end of that process, your anxiety intensity should decrease or should be eliminated. That is the goal when you're trying to like manage your anxiety, at least for me. But I want to shine light on this other facet, which is soothing your anxiety, which is completely different. It requires you to look at the entire situation in a whole new way. I'm trying to like get over this girl. I'm watching this YouTuber called Matthew Hussey, and he's a relationships coach for women. However, most of the things he talks about is how to heal trauma, blah 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 blah. And in one of the YouTube comment section, there was a quote which said, "A bird sitting on a branch is never afraid, not because of her trust in the branch, but rather because of her trust in her own wings." I That was the line I was repeating myself when I was like in the bed. And what that means, and to like bring in the analogy, is that I placed a certain expectation on her. I placed a certain trust on her. I'm trusting her to take care of me. I'm trusting her to take accountability for my feelings or take care of me, to like baby me, to like love me in a certain sense, give me attention. And on her, I'm trusting her because I'm not trusting myself. I'm removing the trust on myself and I'm trusting her. But she doesn't come through, right? And you trusted her, she didn't come through. You don't trust yourself. So you're gonna have anxiety. During this entire process, I had to learn to trust myself a bit more. To 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 recognize the fact that I can handle this, or to show gratitude to the part of you, to a part of myself that is learning all the self help techniques so that it can take care of me. I need to trust that part of myself more to take care of me rather than this girl. And my anxiety soothed or lessened very much, a lot, when I placed that trust on myself and not on her. And at that point, it didn't matter if she didn't come through, if she ghosted me, because maybe she didn't have the space to like give me that attention or give me that time, which is fine. But it has nothing to do with me. And even if she doesn't, I trust myself to take care of me. I trust a part of me to take care of myself even when it doesn't go through. Just like the bird trusts its own wings even if the branch breaks off. that that perspective, to trust yourself more, that I feel is really the root of anxiety. I think there's like uh, a dependency, right? When you, I'm not saying don't depend on others. My friends are the ones who I spoke to get me through this. I'm really grateful for that. But you have to recognize that there is a part of you that is trying to help you. If you clicked on this video, there is a part of you that really wants to understand, oh, how do I help myself? Oh, how do I get myself out of the situation? You have to be grateful that for that part of you, because when that girl, she didn't come through, that part of you did. That part of you did. Even when she abandoned you, you didn't abandon yourself, or at least a part of you didn't abandon you. You know what I mean? And we're often valuing someone's, we're often valuing an ego, you know. There's like a story of an author called Charles Bukowski, where I got this from Matthew Hussey, and he was saying about this writer called Charles Bukowski, and there was a poet. So he's a poet. So he wrote a poem. He slept with a prostitute. She stole his poetry. He's really upset. He writes this huge poem about saying, heartfelt, grieving. You could have taken anything from me. You could have taken my money, my wallet, my clothes, my pride, but you took away my poetry. And he ends that entire poem with, God has created great many poets, but not enough poetry. See now, if I am there and if I'm like an amazing person and if she's an amazing person, but there is no poetry that's being created. If she's a poet, I'm a poet, but there's no poetry that's being created. There's no conversation that you actually find beautiful. That is what you should find valuable, you know, not the potential of this poet, not the potential that this girl could, oh, she could create like this poetry, you know. I get hung up with that. So you have to like learn to value the poetry more. But I'm bringing this example not just on her, but also yourself. There is a poetry that's being created between you and yourself, between you and different parts of you that is desperately trying to help you in the way it knows how to the best of its abilities. Okay? And there is a poetry that's being created. Or at least the other parts of you are is trying to create a poetry that you would at least give your attention to. But that place that part is coming from to create that poetry, that is incredibly beautiful. You know, it's incredibly beautiful. And when you realize that you have that within you, you you won't need another person's um, approval. But you know, oftentimes you don't see that within yourself, and you need so much. Or you have certain expectations from someone, and it doesn't get met, and you're just stuck in this fucking anxiety, you know, just fucking suffering because you don't think you can handle it, and the person you feel could help you handle the situation doesn't show up, and you're just like stuck in like this deep dark abyss. But even during moments like that, there are parts of you that didn't abandon you yet. Maybe in the sea of thoughts, you know, there is that one golden fish that's swimming, that is trying to like take care of you. You need to recognize that, and you need to appreciate that. I need to appreciate that, and I'm incredibly grateful. One of the exercises I did, I remember this. I actually, can I share my screen? Oh, there might be personal. Let me just see. Window capture. Yeah, so let me just share my screen a little bit very fast. Oh, okay. Hey, I can't see. Interesting. Anyway, you know what? It's not showing up. But I created, I started writing down my thoughts, and I started categorizing them under a certain emotions. For example, I had like anxious, and I started writing all the anxious thoughts, categorizing anger, all the thoughts I'm categorizing under anger, hurt, rejection, pop, 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 pop. Like so many thoughts, like this big list, like this big, imagine, like around like 40, 50 thoughts. But there was there was this one thought, because I'm like suffering, my heart is like aching, my body is in like intense physical pain going through this just because of the anxiety. But I recognized that there is this one part, one thought, which was, I recognized that I wasn't categorizing the anxiety that much. There was a part of me that was categorizing all this anxiety. And I saw there's like a distance that's being created. I am doing writing all this, and then there was me watching this. And then I felt incredibly grateful for this part of myself that's writing all this anxiety and, categorizing it, because it thinks doing this will help me. It doesn't know, see, it doesn't know that this could actually help me or not. It thinks it could help me. So it's trying it out. And that's the best way it knows how to love you, or show love to you, or at least help you in a way that you would appreciate it. But I saw this dynamic playing out, and I felt incredibly grateful for that part of me, because that part of me didn't abandon me yet, you see? And that recognition is what was incredibly helpful for me. Like, to trust yourself more, and to know that you can handle it, is something I'm still learning. But that is what got me out of like the intense anxiety. And I hope this helps you too. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And I do not have the energy to edit this. I'm sorry, but I hope this is a little bit helpful. And if you're going through something, I hope you too can recognize that there's a part of you that's watching this video thinking, oh, this guy might have a solution for me that can actually suit me. There's a part of you that's doing that, see? Now you can feel grateful for that. If you clicked on this video, you should feel grateful for that part of you. And you should show it love, should take care of it, should give it attention, you should spend time with it, and you should respect it, learn to love it. See, it's a process. I'm still learning, but I'm excited to see where this goes. Thank you so much.